everybody up nice and early on a Sunday, although do we actually know what day of the week it is? Let's be honest. If you do, then you're doing much better than me. I have no idea. I only know when I remember that I'm teaching a class this morning. So as always, guys, you are muted, but if you do need to say anything to me, you can pop it in the chat box. It's only you today, we're not streaming on Facebook. So if you do want to pop anything in the message, it's easier for me to read when it's just you guys. What do I want to say? We're going to do a restorative class today because that was requested, which means we're going to go very, very slow, and we're just going to restore our bodies and recharge. So what you'll find is we won't do that many postures today. The ones we do will sit in quite deep, and what that does is it really opens up your body. So rather than us flowing through a million postures in the next 45 minutes, we'll take it very slow and we'll really breathe into the ones that we do. If you have got a cushion or rolled up blanket, those are really, really lovely props to have in restorative yoga. Mine isn't going to be, so most restorative classes, you'll maybe do 5 poses in the whole hour. I'm going to do a little bit more than that for those of you that actually want a little bit more movement. But again, if you have a cushion, or if you can grab a cushion or a rolled up blanket or something, it's really, really nice to have a prop like that. So as usual, if you have any injuries, if you're not feeling well, actually restorative yoga is a really, really, really good thing for you. But you know your own body, you know yourself best. So if you do have any aches or pains, just be very mindful, just be very careful of your own body. Obviously, I'm not there to make sure that you're okay. So everyone, just find yourself a nice comfortable spot. We'll start in a few minutes, which does give you a couple of times if you need to get some water, if you need to get a blanket, if you need to get a cushion, or whatever you want to do. I'm just going to make this full screen. Yeah, if you haven't done one of my Zoom classes before, or a Zoom class before, if you go into the top right corner, there's like 9 little dots, and that will give you speaker view, which means that my face will be your whole screen, and that's completely your preference if you want my head as your full screen. And then if you click pin video on my video, it will just put my video and it will stop jumping between everyone's, which can be a little bit distracting. But again, it is obviously up to you. And if you have, I like your video, Laura, with the cats in the background. That's very cool. Okay, so basically, I think that's everything that I need to say. So yeah, we're going to restore and recharge. It's going to be a little bit more than a usual restorative class, but it is going to be very, very slow paced today. I think tonight we'll go back to a little bit more movement. I'm going to ask for you guys' feedback at the end. If this is the only class you can do during the week and you would prefer it to be a more upbeat class next week, then let me know, because usually I was going to take Sunday mornings to do restorative. But it's up to you. It's your class. It's your time. So let's pop ourselves onto our mats and find a comfortable position. Actually, what we're going to do today, we're going to start lying down. So if you have got a cushion, you are very welcome to put it either underneath your head. I've got a nice pregnancy pillow, and it actually makes me miss being pregnant, which I never thought I'd say. You can put it underneath your head and your shoulders. You can put a pillow, if you've got a bit of lordosis, a bit of a bend in the spine, you can put a pillow underneath your back and bend your knees and come into reclined bound angle pose with your feet together. Or you can lie in your shavasana with your palms facing up to the sky. Whichever version you are in. I'm going to stay seated so that you can actually hear me talk. Bring yourself down onto your mats. Find your comfortable seat. If you would like to lie on your side in fetal position, please make sure you're lying on the left and pop a cushion in between your knees. If I've got any pregnant ladies joining me, then this is a really good class for you as well. I'll tell you of any things that you need to do that, that change from what we're doing. So whatever position you're in, close your eyes And let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose to expand your abdomen. Send all of that air down towards the bottom of your lungs, filling them like a glass all the way to the top. And as you exhale, reverse your breath. Draw your navel in towards your spine. And again, inhale. When we reach the top of our breath this time, just pause for 1 second. So we're teaching our bodies to use the full capacity of our lungs. Always teaching ourselves to breathe that little bit deeper. And exhale. And again. And I want you guys to just imagine that your breath is washing through you. So as you inhale, you feel that breath flowing the entire way through your body. It's almost rushing through your organs, cleansing them. And as you exhale, allow it all to disappear. And again, inhale. So we're really going to focus in on our breath this morning. We're trying to teach our bodies to use the full capacity of our lungs and really breathe nice and deeply. So when we slow our breath down and really control that inhale and exhale, yogic breath can be really, really good for anxiety and stress. It can help to calm us. It can really help with any sort of tension that you might be feeling, especially at the moment. Times are very strange. They're a bit scary, maybe. They're a little bit frustrating. And just breathe into that body. Inhale. And exhale. Start to clear your mind of any thoughts or worries. Take that imaginary broom and start to sweep your mind completely clear. Leaving the mind empty. And if you want to, you can take your right hand and place it on your abdomen so you can feel the rise and fall of your breath and feel that connection to your breath. Inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Feel your palm moving in time with your breath. And if you want to, you can take your left hand onto your heart and feel that connection to your heartbeat. We want to feel our heartbeat slowing in time with our breath as we inhale and exhale, a slow and steady rhythm. Let's set our intention today as positivity. We're coming up to the end of week 2 of our time inside with our families, and maybe we're finding it a little bit hard to feel positive about the situation. Maybe it was great in the beginning and we thought it was going to be fine, and now we're feeling a little bit cabin fevery. So I want you to just take a little moment to think of the things that we're positive for. So maybe maybe you have some positive thoughts towards the fact that we can still practice together. Maybe that's your positive thought. Maybe your positive thought is that your family are safe Just think of something that is positive, something you're grateful for. And we're going to try and shine that positive light on our practice and then take it with us for the rest of the day and hopefully the rest of the week as well. And really breathe into your palms. And then drop those arms down on either side. And from that lying down position, let's take our right knee now and draw it in towards our chest. We're giving ourselves a stretch through the front of our hamstrings. Feel the spine lengthening on your inhale, feeling each vertebrae peeling down into the mat one by one. Inhale. And exhale, a very gentle stretch through the hamstring, but with every breath you feel it deepening a little. And start to rotate your ankle if you would like to get a little bit more movement. If not, that's fine. If it's your first movement of the day, you might hear some clicks. If it's not your first movement of the day, then well done you for getting up so early and doing lots of things. Keep that movement going in your ankle if you would like to, otherwise just pulling that knee in time with your breath. We inhale, send the shoulders down the spine, and exhale, draw the knee in towards us. Deep breath. So the point of restorative is that we're restoring our bodies. So when we hold the poses for an extra long time, we're really opening ourselves up even deeper than we would in a normal practice. And breathe one more time. Inhale. Really feel that knee pulling in towards you. And as you exhale, take your right hand to your right knee and start to drop that knee open to the side so that we're opening up our hip. And what you want to do is try and make sure that your back stays nice and flat on the mat. So you can use your left hand to hold that left hip bone down. And breathe, inhale. And exhale, and anyone wanting to get deeper into opening up their hips, you can take hold of your big toe and straighten your leg out, which will get even deeper into the hips and the hamstrings. So whoever it was that was asking for splits, I would recommend hanging out with a leg straight in this hip opening position for a good 10 minutes and a few others as well, but this is a lovely place to start, opening up your hips and just stretching your hamstrings. And really breathe into that stretch. Try and keep your back flat. Try not to lift the left hip. And breathe. And inhale. And exhale. And take one more deep breath here. Gently bend the knee, draw that right knee across the body, bringing it across to the left. If you're pregnant, please avoid this one and just keep holding in your hip opener. Pregnant ladies, it's much more beneficial for you to keep your hips opening. Twisting does cut off the airflow to the fetus. So everyone else, we're reaching out with our right arm and we're gazing down the right fingertips. Your right knee is across to the left side of your body, and you have the option here again of straightening that leg out and taking hold of your foot with your fingers, which gets deeper into your hip and your hamstring, and the spine will deepen that twist as well. From the base of your spine, from your tailbone all the way up to your neck, you want to feel the twist. So twists are incredibly beneficial for us. They're a really nice way of kind of detoxing the body. When we're twisting, what we do is we decompress our organs and we squeeze out all the toxins and the kind of used blood that's maybe a little bit, not dirty, but not as fresh as we would like it. When we release the twist, fresh blood will flow through our organs, and it's quite a nice energizing feeling. So think of it as when we're in our twist, we're wringing out a dirty dishcloth, And when we release the twist, like we're going to do now, take a nice deep breath, gently bring yourself back to center. We're running fresh water through that dishcloth. Lovely. And let's send that right leg up towards the sky, straightening it out. Options here. Hands either on the back of your thigh, your calf, or your ankle. Or you can take hold of your foot if you're feeling super flexible. Try not to put your hands on the back of your knee joint. So if you've got very tight hamstrings, this is a really difficult one for me because I have very, very tight hamstrings on the right hand side. If you've ever had an injury, you'll realize that your hamstring never really feels the same again. We're going to take hold of wherever we want to on the leg. Deep inhale, keep your spine nice and flat. And as you exhale, you're trying to pull that leg towards you, deepening that stretch through the hamstrings. This is another really good one if you are thinking of doing splits. Really breathe into that stretch. Inhale. And exhale. Try and keep that extended leg straight if you can. It's nice to see how deep you can get into the stretch with a straight leg rather than bending the knee and then ultimately getting deeper into it. Let's try and straighten that knee out. Inhale. If you need to as well, you can just give the back of your hamstring a little rub if you want to warm up that muscle a little bit. Inhale. And if you want to flex the foot too, you can. And exhale. Flexing the foot gets deeper into the calf and the hamstring. Inhale. And exhale. And let's take one more deep breath. Gently draw that knee in towards your chest. And drop the right leg down onto the mat. And let's do our left leg now. So drawing the left knee in towards the chest. Inhale, we lengthen. And exhale, we pull that knee in tighter. Keeping that spine nice and flat on the mat. Inhale, we lengthen, and exhale, pull that knee in tighter. So if you want to, again, you can start to rotate that ankle, loosening up your joints, listening to those nice satisfying clicks. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, pull that knee in even tighter towards you. So this is a very gentle hamstring stretch through the front of our hamstrings. And also the backs, very, very gently. And make sure that the spine stays nice and flat on the mat, each vertebrae melting down into the mat, pulling those shoulders down away from your ears. Deep inhale. And exhale. Remember, if you want to keep that rotation of your ankle, then you can. It gets the synovial fluids flowing around your body. And gently pushing down on your right hip bone, let's drop that left knee open to the side. We're opening up our hips. So try and avoid lifting the hip on your right hand side now. We're trying to keep that back flat on the mat. Again, if you want to get even deeper, take your fingers around your big toes and straighten that left leg out. So you're really opening up the hip here. And if, like me, you've got a wall right next to you, I like to put my foot on the wall and find that much easier to keep my back flat if I'm using the wall to open the hip. And breathe, inhale. And exhale. Really breathe into that hip opener. So when we exhale, it's nice to push ourselves deeper into a stretch. So with every exhale, we almost feel those hips melting open, feeling blood flow to the pelvic floor. Deep breath, inhale. Really enjoy the feeling of those muscles opening up nice and slowly. Breathing into our body, remember our breath washes through us. Inhale, we fill our lungs with air, we wash through the body, and exhale, we expel any toxins. I like to think of our breath as cleansing. So inhale, we're washing. Exhale, we're detoxing the body. We're getting rid of everything. We're blowing it away. And gently draw that knee back. And bring that left knee now across to the right, so twisting. Remember, if you're pregnant, stay in your hip opening. Don't take this twist. Everyone else, you're going to reach your left arm out and gaze down those left fingers. Twisting through the spine. Your left knee across to the right. And again, if you'd like to straighten that leg out, if you want to take hold of your left foot with your right hand. Get deeper into the twist, into your hamstrings, into your hips. From the base of your spine all the way up to your neck, you're going to really feel that twist deepening. Inhale. And exhale. Remember, twists with detoxing the body. It's really nice to focus on that feeling of just decompressing our organs, knowing that we're releasing any toxins, anything that are needed. And then when we release the twist, we're going to get that wash of fresh blood flowing through us. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And give me one more deep breath here. Really feel that pull on your hamstrings if you've got your leg up nice and straight. And gently bring yourself back to center. Back nice and flat, and let's take that left leg up towards the sky now. Placing hands back of thigh, back of calf, or on your ankle or your foot. Try and not bend the knee here. Let's try and keep it as straight as possible. So see how deep we can get into the stretch. Sorry about that. If we keep that leg nice and straight. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. So I tend to come into the stretch with a bent knee and then use my hands to gently push the knee straight. And breathe. Inhale. Really feel that pull down the back of your hamstrings. This is a very nice progressive hamstring stretch. So we inhale to lengthen, we exhale, just pull a little bit further. Another one again if you're practicing splits. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale, gently drop that leg down. You're going to bring your feet together on the mat, feet together like palms into your reclining bound angle pose. So feel those knees pulling apart. You can give yourself a little bend in the back here if you want to. You can also pop a cushion underneath your spine. So you can take a cushion and pop it underneath that little raised bit of your back. If your back's completely flat, then well done. Bringing your feet together, and you can either take your palms onto your belly and your heart, one on your belly, one on your heart, down by your side with your palms facing up to the sky, or you can use your hands to very gently, in time with your breath, just push your hips open. Inhale. And exhale. So bound angle pose is a wonderful hip opener, and what we're doing here is we're increasing our blood flow to our pelvic floor as we open our hips. It gives us the feeling of being really, really wide open. And all of these hip ones, if you were one of the ones that wanted to work on splits, hanging out in all these hip openers will really, really help with that. Try and keep those shoulders down away from the ears. We still want that nice long neck. Space between your shoulders and your ears. Don't forget about that part of your body. And as we're laying here in our bound angle, we're just going to pay attention to certain points of our body. So we mentioned the shoulders. We want to make sure those shoulder blades draw down away from the ears. Almost feel those shoulder blades melting down into the mat. And breathe. We're creating space for our neck to grow. And then we take our attention to our jaw. We want it soft and gentle, so pay attention to your back teeth. Are they touching? If they are, try and release them. Let go, let them fall open slightly. And draw your tongue down away from the roof of your mouth, and maybe open your mouth a little. Just stick your tongue out a tiny bit like a little puppy dog. And almost more importantly than all of those, take your attention to your facial features. Make sure you're not frowning, you're not holding tension. We tend to hold on to stress in really, really subtle ways. So our shoulders being tight, our jaw clenched, our facial features, furrowed brows and tightness in our features. And things like that, especially the clenched jaw and the furrowing of the brow, can really give us headaches from tension. So it's quite nice to check in with yourself and just make sure you're pulling the shoulders down, you're releasing the jaw, you're allowing your face to be soft and gentle. Let's make a heart shape with our hands, so thumbs and fingers together. And you're going to place that heart right on your pelvis. And just feel that nice neutral pelvis feeling. Knowing that we're creating blood flow to this area, this cauldron, this bowl that keeps our body going. The pelvic floor is that nice little hammock of muscles that holds all our pelvic organs in place. This area is so important. It's an integral part of our bodies. Really breathe into that heart shape. And give me one more deep breath here. And gently draw your knees back together. We're bringing ourselves into, so our back is flat, but our knees are bent, into what would be the preparation for our shoulder bridge. You're very welcome to keep the cushion underneath your back. But if you would like to really align your body, then you can bring your back nice and flat on the mat. Some people find this really uncomfortable, getting your back completely flat. If you feel like you have got enough space to pop a hand underneath your spine and it's really hard for you to bring the back flat, then keep that cushion underneath there, underneath your lower back, and maybe lifting your hips very, very slightly. So when you peel your spine down onto the mat so that it's flat, your pelvis will be at a very gentle tilt. Your hips very, very slightly tilted, almost so subtle that you probably wouldn't be able to notice it if you were looking at someone else. Make sure the feet are flat, knees and feet parallel like train tracks. Bring your arms down by your side. And we're going to take a little bit of breath here just to control our pelvic floor. And then we're going to go into our lifts. So inhale, we're going to expand our abdomen, release those pelvic floor muscles. So that feeling of kind of letting go. And as we exhale, drawing the navel in towards our spine, that very, very, very gentle tilt in the pelvis. I want you to draw the pelvic floor muscles in as though you're pulling an egg up inside you. And again, inhale, release. And exhale, drawing in. Inhale, releasing the pelvic floor, allowing the air to fill your lungs. And exhale, expel that air very gently, tilt the hips, draw the pelvic floor up into your belly. And keeping your breath flowing as we inhale to prepare. Exhale, very gently start to peel those hips off the mat, rolling them up towards the sky into your shoulder bridge. And you have options here. You can either walk your hands together underneath your back and hold your shoulder bridge, engaging your glutes, engaging your hamstrings, and lifting those hips high. Imagine someone's got a string and they're pulling you up through your pelvis. If you want a little bit more of an intense stretch, try and hold there. Those of you that really want to restore, bring that cushion, or you can take another cushion as well and kind of pile them up underneath your hips so that you're almost lifted up on those cushions. So you're still lifting the hips, but you have the assistance of the cushions. And bring your arms down by your side with your palms open. And those of you that would like to create movement, so if you're actually working on pelvic floor engagement, this is a really nice one to do. Inhale to prepare, exhale, we roll up, draw the pelvic floor in. Inhale, release the hips back down to the floor, so you're going to raise the hips up and down. So whichever version you're in, we're going to hold for a few breaths here. And feel free to switch at any time if you are holding your shoulder bridge and you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe pop a cushion underneath or take your lifts. And at any point you can release just by drawing your knees in towards your chest. And remember, we are inhaling to lower, exhaling to lift. And let's go for 5. Really nice. Exhale, lift. 4. 3. If you're lifting or holding, feel that engagement in your thighs, in your glutes. 2. And final breath wherever you are, lift. And gently lower. And drawing your knees in towards your chest. And just give yourself a little rock from side to side to massage that spine on the mat. And if you want to, you can take your happy baby, bringing your fingers around your big toes and drawing your knees towards you. So this is still an active pose. You still want to feel that engagement through your thighs as you pull those knees towards you. Really nice. And take one more deep breath here. And bring those feet back down. Feel free to keep the cushion underneath your back if you want to. We're going to take our right ankle now and pop it on our left knee. And then just draw that left knee towards you. So you're placing your hands in the back of your left thigh. Inhale. And as you exhale, pulling that knee in towards you, opening up your hips on the right hand side. Really breathe into it with every exhale. Try and pull that knee even deeper, even closer towards you. This is a nice one for stretching your glutes, stretching your hamstrings, your hips. Take a nice deep breath here. Drop that right foot down and then switch left ankle to your right knee and draw that right leg towards you, placing your hands on the back of your right thigh. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. With every exhale, drawing that knee in closer towards you, really feeling those hips opening. Really indulging in those deep stretches. Take one more deep breath. Try and get yourself as deep into the stretch as you can. And then draw both knees in towards you. We're going to gently start to rock backwards and forwards. Or if you want to, you can bring yourself into your fetal position and bring yourself up to seated on your mats. Palms on your knees, and we're just going to stretch our shoulders out a little bit here. So we're going to interlace our fingers together at the front. and pull our shoulder blades apart at the back. Drop your chin down onto your chest and make a circle shape with your arms. Imagine you've got one of those big pregnancy balls and you're trying to hold it. Inhale. And exhale. Pregnancy balls, they are actually yoga balls. So one of those. And really feel those shoulders doming, pulling apart at the back. Breathe into that stretch, curling that spine like a little moon shape. And then take a deep breath. Start to push those arms up towards the sky, keeping that neck long, shoulders down. Inhale. Let's start to pivot our way across to the left, very gently. Deep stretch down the right side of the body. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Keep those bum cheeks nice and planted, hips nice and even. You want to feel that stretch down the right side of your body. Keep your neck long. Lovely, everybody. Try and get even deeper into that stretch. And gently bring yourself back to center. Let's do the other side. Gentle lean. Neck nice and long. If you want to as well, you can switch so that you're holding on to your left wrist with your right hand and almost pulling that arm to get deeper into the stretch. Keep those bum cheeks planted nice and even on the mat. Inhale. Deepen that stretch. Really nice. Really feel that lateral stretch down the left side of the body from hip to wrist. And gently bring yourself back to center. Let's pop those arms down and then reach them all the way behind. Pull that chest forward, shoulder blades together at the back. Inhale. And exhale. And if you feel like you want to get even deeper into the stretch, you can start to hinge forward and just lift those arms up behind you. That's completely up to you. And gently bring yourself back up. Take your arms nice and wide, wiggle your fingers, maybe rotate your wrists, trying to reach to touch either side of the room. Draw those hands back to center and let's place our palms in front. We bring ourselves into our all fours position. So stack those joints, push down through the palms, the knees and the tops of the feet so you're almost pushing that mat away. Inhale here. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine that you're fogging up a mirror. And again, inhale. And then we're going to do the same thing, but keeping our mouth closed on the exhale. So we're fogging up in the back of our throats in our ujjayi breath. Inhale. Go through the nose. Inhale. Lovely. Now let's start to loosen that spine. Inhale, drop your navel to the floor, gaze up to the sky. Exhale, release and arch upwards, pushing the ground away into your cat-cow. Inhale, nice and slow. And exhale, arching upwards, doming the shoulders. Crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale, feel free to put your own spin on this movement as well. If you want to freestyle it, by all means do. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Give me one more breath. Inhale. However your movement is, if you're giving yourself a little wiggle, then finish off that wiggle now with your exhale. Bring yourself back to your neutral spine and just send that right knee forward to meet your right wrist. And you're just going to turn the right calf so it's in line with the top of your mat and send your left leg out behind you into your pigeon pose. Try and flex your front foot if you can. Feeling those hips melting open. So if you've got a block or anything that you want to pop underneath your hip, then by all means do. You just want to make sure those hips are nice and aligned. And we're going to very gently start to fold ourselves forward. So maybe you come to halfway and you can feel those hips opening. Maybe you drop down onto your forearm. And maybe you come the whole way down onto the mat into your sleeping pigeon. And if pigeon is not in your practice, if you feel like this is a really painful pose for you, then by all means take your child's pose. Heels together, knees apart, and stretching your arms out in front. Because you're still opening your hips in that pose. Bring your forehead down onto the mat. Inhale. So sleeping pigeon is an active rest and a passive stretch. So we do it in our normal class. It's not just restorative, and it's really lovely because you can kind of breathe into it, but still know that your hips are really, really melting open on the mat. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Gently walk your hands back into your upright pigeon. And you're just going to bring that right leg back now, heels together, knees apart, and take your child's pose at the back of your mat. Bum on your heels, stretching those arms out in front. And if you would like to take a cushion underneath you in your child's pose, then by all means do, in your supported child's pose. And who doesn't want to just lie on a pile of cushions on a Sunday morning? And breathe in whichever version you're doing. And if you have got your cushions underneath you, just give yourself 2 more breaths there and gently remove the cushions. And then just gaze straight ahead between your hands and draw your chest along the mat into your extended puppy. So your chest is down, sit bones up towards the sky. Feeling that pull on the backs of your hamstrings. And really breathe. If you want to come up on your fingertips, then you can, which gets deep into your shoulders. Inhale. Really feel that stretch through your spine and your hamstrings. Try and keep those feet and knees parallel out behind you. And let's take a little twist through our shoulders. Take your right arm and just post it underneath your left. So you're gazing underneath your left shoulder. Twisting through our shoulder girdle. So this twist you can do if you're pregnant, because we're just twisting through the shoulder. Try to almost get your head underneath your armpit. So gazing down those right fingertips. Take one more breath here. Bring that right arm back and then take your left arm, post it underneath your right armpit. Gazing underneath your right arm now. Gazing down those left fingertips, twisting through that shoulder girdle. So the further you reach that arm, the further you kind of feel like you're pulling yourself underneath the right arm, the deeper you'll get into that shoulder twist. Really breathing into those stretches. And give me one more deep breath. Bring yourself back to your extended puppy pose and gently draw your chest along the mat into your cobra or your sphinx pose. So if you're in sphinx, you're in your forearms. Cobra, you want a little kind of lift in the chest. Engaging through your legs, so point your toes so you can feel that engagement. Your knees are almost lifting off the mat. And we're just going to hold here. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Feel that extension through your spine. Really breathe into it. Keep those shoulders down and that neck long, pointing the toes to engage. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Take a nice deep breath and gently lower yourself down onto the mat. Bring your arms down by your side. Drop your left ear to the mat and gaze to the right. And your right ear to the mat and gaze to the left. Gently bring your palms in line with your ears and push yourself back up into your all fours position. We take our pigeon pose now on the left hand side. So we send the left knee forward to meet the left wrist and take the left foot so it's almost parallel with the top of the mat. Flexing that left foot if you can and send the right leg back. And remember, if you've got a block or anything, books work as well. If you've got like a dictionary or chunky kids books, you can pop them underneath your lifted hip. Otherwise, if you feel like your hips are aligned, that's perfectly fine. Or just lift yourself out of the stretch a little bit so that your hips are straight ahead like car headlights. Send those shoulders down your spine, neck nice and long. Inhale. Exhale, melting into that hip opener. And if you want to start coming down, maybe you only come halfway. Maybe you drop onto your forearms and maybe you come the whole way down onto the mat. And again, if this is not in your practice, if pigeon is not a restoring pose for you, feel free to take your child's pose or any of the poses we've taken throughout this class that felt particularly beneficial to you. And give me one more deep breath. Really feel those hips melting open. Remember, we're still stretching even as we lay here. Deep breath. And gently walk your hands back into your upright position. And bring yourself back into your all fours, heels together, knees apart, and take your child's pose. So we're going to start bringing ourselves towards our Shavasana. So you are very welcome to choose how you would like to take Shavasana. If you would like to take your reclining bound angle pose with your knees open and your feet together, then please do, or you can take it lying on your back. You can take supported child's pose, which is where you just pop a bunch of pillows underneath you and kind of hug them, which is my favorite. Like you look like a little sloth in a tree. Or you can lay on your back, and you can use cushions however you want. Support your hips, support your head and shoulders. You can take seated. If you're going to take seated, I would recommend taking Siddhasana, which is you're going to take your left foot, your right foot, and bring it in towards your groin, and then your left foot, you're going to pop it up on top so that it hooks into your right, your right hip. You can also take it the other way around if that works for you, if you want your left foot into your groin and your right foot up. Because this is a nice relaxing version of seated. But I would really recommend taking your Shavasana lying down however you would like to take it. So bring yourself down onto the mat, take a jumper, take a blanket, take a drink. Give yourself a little wiggle. And then just find your nice space. And let's take a nice deep inhale. Expand your abdomen, send all of your air down towards the bottom of your lungs. And as you exhale, draw your navel in towards your spine. Let's bring ourselves back to where we were at the beginning of the class. No thoughts, no worries. Just the slow and steady rise and fall of our breath. As we inhale and exhale. Take that imaginary broom and sweep all our thoughts and worries away. Clearing our mind so it's empty and our head becomes light. Releasing tension in our facial features. Drawing our shoulders down our spines. Creating space for our neck to grow. Shoulder blades trickling down our back into the mat. Becoming one with the earth. Space between the shoulders and the ears. Unclench your jaw and draw the tongue down away from the roof of the mouth, making sure those back teeth are unlocked. Letting go of any stress or tension. Let's take our attention to our feet and allow them to fall open on the mat, each toe relaxing one by one. Ankles, calves, knees and thighs falling open all the way up to the base of our spine, and feeling each vertebrae melting down into the mat, trickling like water. From our tailbone all the way up to our shoulders, and we feel those shoulders drawing down. And as we inhale to melt our spine into the mat, we feel ourselves lengthen. Allowing our neck to grow, our head to become light. Palms open at your side and each fingertip unraveling as your arms become featherweight at your sides. So light you can barely even notice they're there. No tightness or tension in the chest or the abdomen. Only that slow and steady rise and fall of your breath, washing your organs, washing through you. Inhale. And exhale. And take this moment for yourselves. And gently start to wiggle the fingers and the toes to draw awareness back into your bodies. In your own time, from whichever position you're in. Bringing yourself to seated either by rocking your knees into your chest to release the spine, and bringing yourself over into a fetal position on the mat. And then bringing yourself up to seated. Just bringing your palms onto your knees, and let's take a nice deep inhale all together. And exhale, deep sigh. And again, inhale. And once more for luck, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, big sighs. And just draw your palms together at your heart center. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this morning. So the message I have is that actually some of you would prefer restorative in the evening and energizing in the morning. So next week, that is what we will do. But I hope that you enjoyed your little restorative class anyway. It's so lovely to practice with you all. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. The sun is shining, so take advantage of that one walk a day. And I see that some of you have gardens, which look lovely. So have a wonderful day. Draw your palms together with me, and namaste. And I will see you maybe this evening, if not maybe tomorrow. Have a lovely Sunday, everyone. Okay, I'm going to end the meeting now. Mwah! Oh, Laura, you're here. I'm so happy. Okay, where are you? There. Okay, bye, everybody.